welcome back to Plus This. I'm Kathy Deach.
And I am Eva Tingley. Have you missed us?
We've missed you.
We always miss you guys.
I know. It's fun to do a show. It's fun
we have
to do
a really good show this week. Lots
we
of
do.
crazy things happen.
Yes, for sure. For sure. Is that my phone echoing?
I don't know.
It's off. Mine is off. Is yours echoing?
I don't think so.
We're all streaming, guys. We're all trying to get our comments
all trying to get
in.
it all going.
We're a little fancy. We are in Fancyville.
I mean, we're dressed pretty sharp today.
This is what happens when you have a fashionista come who has dressed you specifically.
I mean, literally dressed me.
Yes, Beyonce.
Like literally
Beyonce.
Stand
Guys,
here and do
this. We have fans because Eva provides, so we're Beyonce.
Oh wait, but then we can hear that. You want to do it like this, so you can't see the.
Marcy Prete is here. Her married name.
Yes.
We've been tagging her at her maiden name because she's got to switch that over.
Yeah, she's got to switch it. Girl, you got some stuff to do.
She's got
you got work to do.
On top of her 5 jobs. She does everything.
She literally does everything and owns the Plus Bus.
Yes, with Jen.
I said the Plus Bus, but I mean
I didn't even hear that.
The Plus
my mind
bus.
made it correct. My mind said plus.
No, I said Plus.
But
it's not. It's the Plus
She
bus.
is a co-owner with Jen Wilder,
which
a
is
good
not
friend who's
actually
been here.
a bus, by the way.
It is a store.
We're going to talk to her about that.
Yeah, definitely.
It's not actually a bus.
But she is a stylist, and she styled us. And on top of it, she is a producer.
Yes. Wait, first tell us what you're wearing.
Oh, I am wearing Shagul, which I love, with a little Proud Mary vintage number. And I also got this crazy necklace at the Plus Bus as well.
I don't know what I'm wearing. I'm just wearing Plus Bus clothes.
Yeah. This is a new item that the designer
had at
the store. They also had a pair of peach extra wide straight leg pants that I might have to go. I've been daydreaming about them in this creamy sherbety peach, guys, and I have the cutest little faux white wrap top. I look like a little peach sailor girl.
Oh my gosh, everyone's gonna be like, "What's up, peaches and cream?"
I know, exactly.
That's what she wants. She wants people to be
I'm gonna have to put on a lot of sunblock.
You are, because it's gonna seep right through your
because
outfit.
that white will just reflect onto my face and give me a sunburn here. But
just
I
on
think
your neck. Just here.
Yes, but definitely check them out because they're really. And Marcy's gonna tell us more about
You need to go to the Plus Bus if you don't know what it is.
If you're coming to LA, make a special trip.
Stop it.
It's right on the east side. It's a really hip, upcoming neighborhood. Lots of great fun places to go eat and go have a little beer and nosh
and then get a outfit. Yeah, or 2 or 5 or 22.
22.
Jinx, you
There's so many of them. I think you might have said that before me. But it's very interesting because I've been going through it today. I'm sorry, guys, my eyes are weeping. I don't know what's happening.
Kathy is having a moment,
I'm going
guys.
through it.
She's really going through it.
You know, it's
today.
one of those things synchronicity is real, just FYI. And we released this article and we're so proud of it.
Oh my gosh, so good.
About we don't have to congratulate fat guys for dating us.
Regular guys for dating us. Not fat guys.
Did I say fat guys?
Yeah.
Oh.
Just regular, just guys in general.
Congratulate men for being yeah, I'm a hero for dating us.
For being in a relationship with a chub.
And at the end of it, we made this really strong statement that was no longer on the DL with men. We're saying, no, we don't want that. Right. And as it would have it, the universe sent me a test on that.
It sure did send you a test.
Did test
and
me.
You...
I totally failed. I totally failed. But I had
But we love you. We love you for being vulnerable.
I'm glad that after you give me a big for
you failed,
my vulnerability,
but we still love you.
You tell me you love me. That's good to know. So so after being bullied, she loves me. So
I am not bullying you. Stop it. Anyway. Kathy said I bullied her on a Facebook Live when I whispered something at her. I was like, you are crazy. So let's just get some facts straight.
So anyway, it's the connection's real, guys. That's all we're saying. So I've not been really shy about it on the show, but I had this really physical, intimate, the first time I'd ever been that physically intimate with a guy for a very long time. Not for very long for me. Not a long time, but very long for me. And it is hard to give it up because it's the first one, and then I have things with guys that I never want to give up. And what we were unpacking today when we were talking about it was that I don't believe. So all that stuff that we wrote in the article that I believe, like my heart doesn't believe.
Well, that you're not taking action on,
that
right?
It's possible that there's someone else who would feel the same way. Like, I think
he's the only one who could possibly. He's the only
one that could possibly, and it's a unicorn, and therefore I have to like throw everything into it.
Right.
And it's a problem I have.
Which, remember, in our article, the guy says it's surprising how many men look for overweight women. And
yes, so that is a societal thing that obviously, even though my head knows it, my heart still doesn't.
Yeah.
So we just like had to unpack that, and it was just a lot. And then it like took me on a journey once I unpacked it. So, right. And then there's work being done in my building. And let's just say that. Like if you were close to me, I might not smell so great right now.
That's not true. You smell perfectly fine.
But anyway,
you put all the things on.
Go read this article.
Yes, go to booksforbetterliving.com. Type in plus this show. We will come up all of our amazing articles. Read them. Share them.
Yeah, tell us what you think for sure. On our Facebook page especially is where a lot of traffic happens. We're going to ask Marcy about this. Her gorgeous husband is here.
Yes.
I mean, just sweet-faced. I mean,
so
and
cute.
Lovable and laughing and just made me so happy. I was like, I know I'm really in a bad mood. I'm giving a horrible first impression, but you really are
nice
a wonderful person.
I mean, wait, let me actually acknowledge that you're a human being. Hello.
It took me a minute.
Hello.
It took me a minute. He is just bright-eyed and bushy-tailed and adorable. I'm so glad he's here with us. So we went to see a play, and
last week we talked about it.
Significant
Other,
and one of the stars in it are in Heathers, and she was like, I'm not sure. Maybe there's going to be an announcement.
She was like, I think there's like something cryptic happening.
So,
I don't know.
Melanie Field.
But they announced it.
July 10th.
So everyone's going to be watching.
So we're going to have a viewing party.
That's what I was going to say. Who's going to host our viewing party, guys? Melanie, we're looking at you.
They're probably going to have like an official, right?
Probably, but we'll probably won't be
She's going to be here May 17th, so we'll talk to her about that. She's coming. She's coming in a few weeks. She'll be here.
Yeah, we're going to talk
to her all
about it.
But you should see Significant Other if you can this weekend. It's last weekend. It's really great.
Yeah, it's really, really good.
Really, really. And she's phenomenal and dresses unbelievable in it.
Oh, no, we already talked about it.
Yes. So,
moving on.
There was a blogger who wrote something, and we really wanted to talk about last week. There was just so much to talk about.
There was so much to talk about that we didn't get to.
But your fat friend.
This was like brutal for me.
Yeah. She basically was like, you see this happening to fat people all the time. Can you be an ally for us? Basically, it was like a plea for an ally.
Right. So she writes this blog post for Medium about how you see this happening, and you feel bad, but you're not the one who speaks up. Right. So you see someone being mistreated on an airplane and being basically bullied, really truly bullied on an airplane. Not Kathy Deach saying that I bully her. And you don't do anything about it. Like, you don't say like, hey man, that's not cool, or dude, I'll sit next to her, like you can switch with me, right? Like, I'm good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, there's so many things that you don't even have to be like addressing the person and say like what you're doing is wrong. You could just
make this situation easier.
Yeah. Hey, you know what? I'll switch with you, man.
Yeah. And this
because
guy
it's gonna be a man,
was
probably
really abusive to her.
He was really cruel.
He was really cruel and abusive. And if he was in like a marriage with someone, you would think he was a piece of trash. But because it's a fat person, it's a stranger, you are like, oh, I mean, that's rough for you, isn't it? It's really, really, it was heartbreaking, and also brought up a lot of stuff because I know you as well have had like terrible things happen to us because of our size.
Well, and I think about it. I think about being on a flight and how sometimes, I mean, thank God, most of the time I've traveled with Peter. So like I'm sitting next to Peter.
Her husband.
My husband.
In case you're just watching for the first time.
For the very first time and you don't know who Peter is, then you need to go back and get on the archives, guys. But like you do kind of have to make yourself small and sit as small as you possibly
and God forbid you claim an armrest.
No, you can't claim an armrest. If you're in the middle. No, you don't.
No way, Jose.
Actually, I think that if you're in the middle, you should claim both armrests because the other people get to like lean out.
I know.
So really, You should get both, in my opinion, if you're in the middle, because the middle is the worst.
It is. So this article is really beautiful, guys. I highly recommend it. It's again on our Facebook page, but also you can find it at Medium. Your Fat Friend. She writes great stuff, and she's also a fun Twitter account too. So
if you're on Twitter, go follow
and if
her.
The only way we can really be allies is if we see people or hear about people be allies and figure out how to be an ally in that. You know what I mean? So I know I was like, yes, that's happened to me, and where were people when that happened to me? But also, when have I seen that and allowed that to happen?
Right.
So a
lot of us feel like, oh, it's not my business. I'm not gonna get in. I don't want to make it worse, or I don't want to, I don't want to like step where I don't want to misstep, right? Yeah. But by not saying anything and actually like making, even if you don't say anything, but you just make eye contact with the person and be like,
are you okay?
Yeah.
With your eyes.
Because a lot can be communicated that way.
Yeah. And she talks about like she saw someone who wanted to be that for her, but just couldn't go the further step. And even just asking someone if they're okay. So it's like acknowledging that
they're a human being and that you see them.
Yeah. So I love that article.
It's a really well written article.
It's really beautiful.
Yeah.
One of our viewers who I'm going to stay anonymous. Oh, hi, Hina Brown. Oh, hi, Pia.
Hi, Pia.
One of our viewers who, because it's their child, I don't want to call out their name, but they're very loyal, and it's someone I think from around my area growing up, and they have a little kindergartner. We're gonna repeat that. Kindergartner, like 5 years old.
Yeah,
and I remember this happening to me, so I'm pretty sure that's when it happened to me too. Hashtag me too. And she posted a picture of, and she said again, so this is not the first time it has happened to her child, that they sent home one of those bullshit BMI, like mathematician things that says obese, your child's obese, on a slip of paper, and sent it home with her child to hand to her mother. And the doctor, luckily her kid's doctor, said, oh my God, it's so ridiculous. Ha 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 ha. And so she has like the assurance that she doesn't have to worry about this. But, that 5-year-old kid is like wondering what obese means, or does everyone at school know what obese means?
Right, and then is everybody making fun of her?
Yeah.
Like, it just causes too much. For a kindergartner, why?
Yeah. And why?
I mean, why is it even happening in schools?
Period.
Why are we getting weighed in schools?
Yeah, and also it's not even accurate, as we've talked about.
We've talked about it so many times.
It's an empty
it was
road.
Not even meant to be used for what it's being used for.
Exactly.
So let's just move on.
It was not. It was not for the individual. And I think that talking about movements, like parents should, not just of the kids who are getting the obese, by the way, like parents in general should challenge their schools about this, because nurses shouldn't be doing it. And the only way it's going to happen...
I'm just curious as to why they need to. Like, what is the purpose behind it?
Yeah. Like, what's the initiative?
What is the purpose?
Yeah. What is the school... How is it part of a mission statement of a school?
Right.
To do that, to weigh kids and have that happen.
And weigh kids in front of other kids.
Yeah.
And make it feel like, because kids naturally want to know, right?
Of course.
Like, a kindergartner, what? Oh, I'm 52 pounds. Yeah. Oh, I'm 38 pounds.
Yeah,
I'm
this tall. I'm this tall, or yeah, and
you're 62 pounds. Oh.
And they all want to compete. They want to compare and contrast, and it's awful. And I remember, like, for sure being 10 and being sent home with one of those, and like being devastated. And, like, I was, like, going through puberty at 10. Like, I had titties. I had my period. Like, I was, like, wearing adult clothes at 10.
Right,
Even though I'm still just 5'2". Me and my mom almost had the same trajectory. Like,
were you 5'2" when you were 10?
Yeah.
Oh, so you like were tall and then you were like, oh, I'm not
and that's
tall.
exactly how my mom was. Yeah.
Oh.
So like, you know, I developed early, and so I that was really impressionable on me. Like
I'm
really,
sure.
really impressionable. And it broke my heart that it's now 5-year-olds that are getting it.
What? I just don't even understand it.
But
you shouldn't even be weighing your
parents
kids.
should be talking to their schools about
Let's limit it to the doctors.
Yeah.
They don't need to be weighed
because
anywhere else.
They do have to go to the doctor in order to go to school.
Right.
So if nurses are there doing this because they're afraid kids aren't getting childcare, like I thought it was a requirement they had to go to the doctor in order to go to school, to even be allowed in. So we have to start challenging this idea for sure. I wanted to add something that's not on our run of show, but really cool.
How dare you?
I'm sorry, really cool because it was like breaking news, guys.
Dun, 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 dun,
Hashtag
dun,
what about us? I'm gonna mess up all of the handles because they're German, but we have put it on.
We did put it on our Instagram.
We have it on our Instagram story. Listen, the Germans plus size women's like clothing is killing it. Like their clothes, like every time I see, oh my God, that's so like forward thinking. What German? Like it's always like our fierce German followers, and like we follow them back. So they're making real strides. Like they're getting changes made in their country for plus size women. And there was this big like influencer awards thing that they put together.
Yeah, they had an influencer summer or something, and they had
out
awards.
Of 700 guests, there were only a handful invited plus size influencers, which is crazy because there's so many, and there's so many who have like hundreds of thousands of followers, and they're actually influencing things and making change, and not one of them was nominated for anything.
Right.
Nowhere.
So 7 of them were invited, but none were invited.
700 out of 700 people, a handful were invited.
But none nominated.
So they said that we're starting a hashtag what about us? Like the song What About Us? Which of course I love, and I'm teaching to my kids at school. Hi, Sherman Oaks Academy. Anyway.
Hopefully you're not watching.
Hopefully you're not. Hopefully you're not.
Because Kathy teaches the worst on here.
I'm the absolute worst.
You should not be listening to her talk on here.
So, but we're singing that song, and they created What About Us, What About Plus, which I think is adorable. And so we're all for it. So guys, if you're sick of not being included in things, then let's like make us think about it. Like let's get it going.
On the hoopla.
On the hoopla. Yes, and follow those German girls who are just gorgeous and fabulous. Let's wrap it up so we can get Marcy out here.
Why are you talking so much, Kathy Deach?
Sorry, guys.
Gosh.
I'm letting it all go.
Okay,
I won't talk at all the rest
We're going to take We're going to take a short commercial break, and we will be right back. And plus this.
Do you know that 67% of American women are size 14 and above?
You mean they look like this?
Yeah, girl.
So then where are we in television and film?
And where are we in fashion magazines and clothing stores?
Yeah.
So we want to help out entertainment and fashion and media.
Catch the F up.
Topics get hot. We want to hear what y'all have to say.
And they will get hot.
Absolutely.
I have a question for you. It's kind of like a dirty little one. So if you had to do a love scene with somebody else famous, who would it be?
Oscar Isaac.
Love how I asked you that and you had an answer like right away.
We sang, we laughed, we cried. We
gotta go back. No, we didn't cry.
We didn't cry.
Everybody should be able to be seen in. I mean, maybe not every single campaign, but let's try to include it in as many campaigns as we can.
Witchy poo, we told you.
We're just putting it in the cauldron for you.
We're gonna get the candles. Yeah, people are having sex with us. We need to show that we're like part of this society, and being sexual is part of that.
Absolutely.
So tough titty, you're fucking uncomfortable.
Yeah, watch a fat girl love herself.
Applause!
Applauding. Thanks. So good.
Plus this.
No, I'm all crooked.
You know that.
Hi, we're back. And plus
we are back.
And Marcy Prete is in the house.
Hello. Thanks for having me.
I don't know why I became a
own.
werewolf. I don't.
You did because she's real.
I bring that out of people.
She brought the devil. She brought the devil.
We asked our fans if we wanted angel or devil, and they wanted angel, and she was like, nah.
Given devil in
She was
the
like, nah.
I thought it was like, is Marcy an angel or is Marcy a devil? And I was like, pretty sure I know those 11% who's voting devil, but it's all good.
We just were wondering what you were going to bring tonight.
Yeah.
I'm gonna bring the truth. I love to be real. I love to break it down. I love kind of like cutting to the chase.
Work.
You know.
Cut to the chase.
She's the cutest jumper on, guys, for
my
those
gosh.
just listening.
No, like,
Colloquy.
it's so cute. What is that called? Like a burnout cutout? I don't know. It's so hot.
Oh, girl.
Overlay?
Lace.
Yeah.
I don't know. I love it.
Sexual energy.
I just want you to know that it's going to be hilarious watching Marcy look at herself in her monitor.
I know.
Because she's so good. She's so like, pose.
Yeah,
We're going to have
pose,
amazing
pose,
screenshots of you.
Of you. That's great.
I've had a little practice in my
But
life.
just
Yeah,
like
you
smile
have.
a little
Just a
bit.
little
Like
bit.
make a
Just a
cute
little.
pose so that we can like capture you for our YouTube channel.
That was a good one, Marcy.
So cute.
Marcy
Long enough for it to pan through and I can grab a shot.
I'm ready.
She's pro. She's a
is a
PRO. Whoa.
Exactly. She's a producer.
She is.
Among other things.
You are like queen of the world. You kind of do everything, right?
Yeah. Yes, I do. I do a lot of things. I used to kind of be like, oh, like you're a dancer / DJ / actor / barista. Like that's kind of a lot. But I have kind of grown into that, and I think it's also kind of the generation we're in. It's like a lot of us are dreaming big, doing things, and you know, Oprah is all about those multiple pipelines, and me too.
Yeah.
I love it.
I love
So,
it.
yeah.
What do you think is your favorite right now? What
So
lane are
yeah,
you
I
in
work
right
on
now?
I work in the TV industry. I own a plus size store, which you guys have been so lovely to plug. My husband's like, wow, they mentioned the plus like 10 times. I was like,
You're like
for giving
every week.
Yeah. Every week we do.
that.
We're like, you don't know what the plus is? Get over there. How dare you?
My true passion really is women. Like I really, to me, it's like exposing women to this kind of content. So someday I think that my like TV love and my plus size fashion love and body positivity love will just like merge, and yeah, that's where I'm at with that.
Awesome.
So I do love owning my store. I think it's more than just about clothes. It's really about women, because when you feel good in something, when you look good in something, you feel good. And so I always say like confidence starts kind of from the outside in.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Wait, so the plus bus was originally a bus?
Should I look at you or myself?
You can look wherever you want.
Yeah, I mean,
are you feeling like you want to look at yourself? Like
No,
you're like, hey,
I mean,
yeah.
Well, a good co-host looks at all the people in the conversation.
There you go.
So you look right here in the camera. That's my audience.
Right.
And then you look at your co-host.
Right.
So just want, there's a free
just
hosting
look
tip.
at
There you go.
No, it's never been a bus. We started in 2015.
No, but you did go to
We used to do
the
swaps.
Yes.
We started in 2015 with a huge swap, and we were so lucky to have so much clothes left over that we were like, we need to do this. Like, we can do this thing. So we started to do pop-ups at the Pasadena flea market. So, old school flea market people that used to come out there and haul their cookies out with their big old bags to trade and pay $7 to get in. But we really realized through that, doing it, I think we did it like every other month or something, that there was a market, and that if people would go to the Pasadena Rose Bowl and in the heat and bring their clothes, that we could have a store. So we've been open for 2 years in Glacelle Park, California. So like you said, we have so many people that come from all over the world, and they truly do plan their trips. They're like, okay, on Thursday we're gonna go see the Hollywood sign, and then we're gonna come to the Plus Bus. We're like, yes,
I
thank
swear
you.
to you, every single time I have been there, someone from out of state has been there.
Oh, that's
I'm
awesome.
not even kidding. Like and I go there a lot. Guys.
Yes,
Well,
Kathy
and we
goes
love you for
a lot.
I like your clothes. I like the clothes that your customers bring in.
Yes.
And
so yeah, we're swap.
Yeah.
We're
Yes.
like a Buffalo Exchange or a Crossroads. So we take used clothes. So it's sustainable fashion. And so, I mean, we love the community element. And I think that's also part of it, is that people see our events on Instagram or so see us online, and then they want to be a part of that. They want to come and see what it's all about. So been a huge blessing, and it is definitely a labor of love, but it's a viable business. And so we're just gonna
and
keep
you guys
going.
do sales online too, right?
Oh,
We do-
those are so
That was
cool.
yesterday. You
Yes.
had one.
You had a
Aren't
Facebook
they?
Live.
I mean, the webs, they're so amazing.
Yeah, you just like
interwebs.
watch and be like, sold number 7, and then they'll send it to you.
Yeah, it's like Fat Girl QVC.
It is.
It is on the interwebs.
You guys should come host one.
Is.
You guys would be a hoot.
We should
Yeah.
totally do.
Okay.
I'm so good at harassing people to buy clothes. I do it
But
in
do you ship
regular
everywhere?
stores.
Do you ship like to all over the world, or only to the continental United States?
You know, we can. I want to be positive. I really want to bring just the positivity. So we can definitely ship, but probably for just cost purposes, it's probably more geared towards the United States and Canada, but it's still pretty expensive to ship to Canada.
It is.
Expensive.
So, you know, we're still just like a small. Now, if you are so into ethical fashion that you want to pay $40 to get a used dress to you in Germany, then great, I'll ship it to you.
But
I mean, I'm just looking at my Greek people who probably want
and
plus size clothes.
they also, you have some like famous people who put, like, if somebody wanted Chrissy's Met's dress, they would pay $40.
We have a lot of fabulous friends. Yes, we don't always like pimp out that, or is that PC to say? We're not always like, you know, but we do have, you know, being in LA, we have so many actresses that are plus size that bring us their clothes that because they get so much, you know, that's not even solicited that they don't even want or like. So yeah, it's awesome. So it's the Plus Best. Come check us out.
Yeah,
oh my gosh,
it's really
amazing.
great.
But you guys have so many juicy things to talk about. I'm like, let's
let's
not talk about me anymore.
I'm just saying.
No, for sure.
I want to
know,
sip some tea.
Something came up. This is perfect because it ties into fashion anyway. Ashley Graham, explain to us what a DIY campaign is. Obviously, do it yourself, but we didn't really understand why she would do a do-it-yourself campaign for Rag & Bone when she gets paid millions of dollars.
The DIY, I did look up. So Ashley Graham partnered with Rag & Bone. So anybody out there that has never heard of Rag & Bone, it's a really sick skinny girl brand that has very cool, edgy clothing. Ashley Graham, now let's just start with this. Number one, Ashley Graham is a model and a businesswoman. So I'm going to tell it to everybody straight because this is where my angle is coming from. Would I love to wear Rag & Bone? Yes. Did I get all the Rag & Bone when it was at Target? Yes. Because do you remember that?
Yes,
Rag
I do.
Rag & Bone for Target.
Yes,
I was
I
all
do.
up in it. But the reality is that Ashley Graham is not an activist. She is not a leader. She didn't ask to be a leader. So when we put people on pedestals that didn't really ask to be there, this is where we get into these problems. Yeah. Do I think it's annoying that this Rag & Bone collection only goes to a 14? Absolutely. But if Rag & Bone wanted to have me do something on their website, I don't know that I have the integrity to say no, if I'm just being really honest, because we are business people. So while we can all say, now granted, the three of us in this room, Rag & Bone ain't coming to us.
No.
Right.
No.
Ashley is that person that sort of straddles the plus size world, and there are probably many average size women that aspire to her.
For sure.
Right. Yeah.
So I think she's aspirational, and I think that, you know, I've met her. I've known her for many years. She's always responds to my DMs and my texts, and she's still very sweet and a real person that I feel I have some access to. So it's not that I want to defend her. I just think that sometimes people think she set out to be this like political body positive activist when she's a model
for sure,
and she is a business person.
And here's the thing: don't you
so
feel
I'm like,
we've
collect
talked
that
about
money.
this before about how when it's the only one, when it feels like it's your only option, that you're looking at someone who looks like you. This is the only option I have on the cover of Vogue. This is the only option I have to look at in Glamour that even remotely looks like me. We do put crazy amounts of pressure.
We do.
And
but it's also like we
people.
also need to be looking elsewhere. Like stop looking at Glamour and Vogue. They don't want your money. And by the way, they're going out of business. Like you can get 27 million episodes of Vogue for $9.99 a year. The magazine industry is dead, and it's partially for this reason, because most of us can't buy a $2,400 pair of shoes that's advertised in the magazine, let alone fit into the, you know, $2,700 Lawn Vaughn dress or whatever it is, you know.
Right.
So
well,
this
but
is
people
also
are going into massive debt in order to try to do that.
Sure, and we do have some plus size influencers that rock the designer. You know, I see Gabby Fresh and Nicolette with their Prada bags, their Miu Miu shoes, and like I'm all about that life. I love a designer bag, but I think it's also about looking elsewhere, and I think there are other models that we can look at, and this gets into a whole another conversation about modeling and about what even the plus size industry considers an acceptable model.
Exactly.
So yes,
for sure.
But I always try to go on the positive side, and I really do feel like, gosh, we have come far. And this is an unpopular opinion, but sometimes that Rag & Bone collection, it's not for plus size girls. It's for straight size women
Yeah.
that aren't body positive. And so they're putting this body positive role model in front of these women. And I have a lot of thin friends, and I sometimes have empathy for them. And when I share it in plus size circles,
I love
it's
it.
not-
I sometimes have empathy.
I'll sometimes share empathy. I'll sometimes share
You
empathy.
empathize with them, yeah.
Right, yes.
And it's not welcome in plus size circles.
No.
It's not welcome.
And that's where we have to bridge the gap, don't
so
you
this is
think?
my devil. This is, my devil.
No, I think we do need to bridge the gap because there was an amazing tweet that I read from someone who I don't even remember right now that basically said, when was the last time personally insulting someone got them to come around to your way of thinking? And it was such a microcosm of the macro. Like the more isolated we become as a plus size community, the more other people are going to see us as other.
And if we turn on Ashley Graham, I mean, it's just like, I just don't think that it does us much. I think,
Yeah.
And the reality is too, like, we're in LA, we're here. I don't know that. I think a lot of people watching this and a lot of people in the middle of America don't know what the F rag and bone is.
No,
So
for
it's
sure they don't.
Totally irrelevant. Now, Revlon, I almost cried when I saw her in a Revlon commercial.
Yeah.
Because that's amazing. That is a big moment.
Yeah.
For Revlon for all these years that we've all shopped, whether or
Yes.
not you've graduated to, Bloomingdale's makeup or whatever.
Right.
We've all been a Revlon girl at some point in our life, a CoverGirl. And, CoverGirl did do a collaboration with Empire, which included Gabourey Sidibe a few years ago. So that was cool. But
Yeah.
it was really that Revlon commercial that came out with Ashley Graham that's still on the air right now. To me, that was really empowering. So I think she is this, like, the one person that mainstream media has accepted.
Right.
And said, okay, this is the approved fat girl that
But
will...
do you think that's because her face is very thin?
I think
and
it's
her
because her
arms
face
are
is
thin?
gorgeous.
But her face is thin.
She has a jawline.
Yes.
That is... So, yes, that it is because there's an ideal.
She has a thin face and thin arms and big boobs and big butt
If
and
you've
legs.
seen her in person, there's nothing thin on her body. I'll tell you that. She is thick. She works out all the time. So if you follow her on Instagram, you see she's thick and she's muscular. But the chiseled jawline, it does
Right,
help.
right.
And that's just, some people have that face. I mean, Rosie Mercado, even when she was at her heaviest, has a super chiseled jawline.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
I think, yes, there's always going to be that ideal. It's this hourglass figure that dates back to Marilyn Monroe. I mean, that dates back. This is
way
not
back
new.
Rubenesque. Yeah.
Right. So exactly. So, I think Ashley Graham kind of gets a hard rap sometimes. Do I want to read her book? No, I don't want to read a book by a model. But do I think she's doing good? I'm just saying, there's nothing there for me.
She said she was going to tell us the truth.
But am I turning against her because she's doing a rag and bone campaign that doesn't work for me? No.
Right. Well, I will say that it didn't look like she could sit down in any of the clothes.
No.
I mean, it didn't look like it was made for curves at all.
No.
You're right. Like, it is
Well,
such
and they probably made her a pair. Because I did check the website and it goes to size 14.
Yeah.
So, and that's probably
That's what that means
14.
by DIY. They did it for for specifically.
Yeah.
you.
Just
Do it
one
for
pair
you.
for you.
That's it.
Okay.
Well, this is the same thing when she just wore, when she wears a designer to the Met Gala. It's the same thing.
Right.
It's like,
for sure.
who wouldn't want to make her a dress? Of course. And
Yes.
no, Dolce & Gabbana doesn't have a dress for you. So this is something that maybe we'll see. I mean, as we see these Torrids and Universal Standards expand their lines to 10s and go down, hopefully we'll start seeing, with things like 11 Honoré, the Zach Posens, and those people coming up. So we can all meet in the middle and sort of just everybody, fair trade, everybody gets to wear what they want. And
Yeah.
Kumbaya.
And make money. Hello.
money,
All right.
honey. Spend money.
We
have
have
to take a
more.
break. We have to take a break
because there's so much more with you, and we're going to come back and talk about your podcast. So we're excited about that. Stay tuned. Plus this. Plus this.
Promotional consideration brought to you by Melissa Massey. Custom clothing isn't exclusively for the rich and famous. Melissa Massey is custom-made clothing for everyday wear. A unique combination of custom tailoring and deluxe fabrics that is well made and fit for every size and frame. Made in LA, sold in LA, and online at melissamassey.com. It's not the natural beauty products in your life, but the life in your natural beauty products. Linda Kammen's Aromatherapy Salon, lindacammons.com, for happier, healthier living. Promotional consideration provided by Scrubs Body, a woman-owned business with scrubs so natural they're good for your public parts and your private parts. Scrubsbody.com.
Plus this.
How sweaty are you, AJ?
I wear underwear. I'm not talking.
1 in 3 girls is a sweaty girl. There are 3 girls in this room.
I know.
I am not a sweaty girl.
I sweat.
Okay, so there's 3 girls in this room, and 2 of them have just admitted that they're sweaty girls. I'm a sweaty
One of
girl.
the 2 wears underwear. Okay, we don't know what happened. There was a technical difficulty there, but
Probably
they were talking about
Probably for the best.
sweaty girls and not wearing underwear.
You have a podcast, the Midlife Makeover. Oh my God.
The internet just doesn't have enough of me.
It is. Marcy, you and AJ have such chemistry.
How did you guys
meet?
How did you guys start that?
Well, okay, so we just started this podcast. It's called Midlife Makeover. It really started as a conversation in a bar where she's like, dude, you're killing it. And like, I'm not doing much. And I want to get back to doing all my stuff that I was doing. Because we met it on an audition. And so when I reconnected with her recently, I'm like, what are you up to? She's kind of like just working and not really doing the dream, living the dream. And I think that for so many people, they find themselves at this place where, I mean, I'm like really living my dream. Like, I really feel so blessed to be in LA, living my dream, working in TV, owning a plus size store, like doing all these fun things. And so for me, if anybody feels limited by their age, by their size, by their means to do what they want to do, I'm like, oh no, we can fix that. And that's
You're gonna Oprahify them,
Yes.
is what you say.
I mean, it's the Oprah and me. It's like the wannabe. Like, I'm very obsessed with Gary Vaynerchuk right now. It's the like Tony Robbins and me.
Right.
And I've always kind of been the mother hen, the person people go to for advice, the friend. But now I'm like, well, we can probably monetize this or at least just help more than one person. So I thought our conversations as we would like explore why she's not doing comedy anymore or what's holds her back from whatever it is that she wants to accomplish, maybe that would be helpful for other people. And so it's been really fun, and it's kind of a social experiment.
But you guys are so funny. You guys talk about like silly things and you talk about very serious things too. And I love that you like razz her about shopping at Costco.
I mean, no for
judgment. Her shirts. Like,
No
you're just
judgment.
like, you know, if it feels good for you, if it feels good.
Well, I mean,
good on
so
you, girl.
So it came up yesterday. I mean, and here's the thing. I think I also was open to doing the podcast because I have been doing plus size fashion work as an expert for now 8 years. And there does come a point where you're like, I love plus size fashion and I love talking about this stuff, but sometimes I want to talk about other things.
Yeah.
And there is a whole world out there, you know, like you said, we really kind of get into this little bubble. And sometimes I love that bubble and it's cozy and comfy and fun.
Right.
But sometimes there's things outside that I would love to explore and talk about. And so, you know, I think the Costco thing, especially with her, she's someone that wears, you know, a binder, which is basically like Spanx for your boobs. And it comes up kind of high. And so for her, the Costco shirts, Kirkland brand, cover that enough. And, you know, so when she said it from that perspective, it's like, okay. So then really what my problem is with the Costco shirts is that they fade, which, you know, black woolite will work wonders.
Right.
You know, black woolite will help you. Or maybe, you know, this shirt's a shirt I can only wear 3 times.
Right.
And then we move on and we just get more Costco shirts. That's not very sustainable. But I'm sure there's someone out there that could use those shirts. So, you know, for me, it's like, again, fashion should work for you, not you work for it.
Right.
And if Costco fashion is all that you got or all you can afford, then work it. If it makes you feel good, that's fine. But it's kind of like always getting to the root of things with her. Like, I thought it was like she was shopping at Costco because that's all she can afford. When it's not that, it's that she likes the fact that the collar comes so high.
Right.
So I get that. I mean, we all have body image issues, whether you're a butch, whether you're a femme, whether you're fat, whether you're thin. I mean, and that's kind of where for me, like I always, again, going back to the empathy thing, I feel for people, so many people have body image issues. So
no, 91% of women have body issues. 91%. That means everybody.
And not that we're feeling bad for men, but like men have it too.
Oh,
yeah, for sure.
So, absolutely. So the next episode that has yet to be released, right?
So we release it just like you guys. We just want to be like you. And so Thursday's the day.
Oh, Thursday's your day. So right after this, you could go.
Yes,
and
you can go listen.
about dating.
Yeah, today we're talking about
can you
rules.
Give us a tease about that? Can you
Yeah,
give
well,
us a
today's
little-
episode it's talking about some you know, dating rules and the difference between like being a straight in the straight dating world and the gay dating world. And you know, it's coming from our perspective. So we're not the end all be all I did.
Aren't you?
You wanted me to weigh in on something earlier that we were talking about. With your I would like to. I love dating. Giving dating advice.
You love giving
so today's episode is about the lesbian and gay and straight sort of dating rules and how it works. And I don't know. I've never been a gay girl, so I don't know. But I would assume if I was, I'd be like, I want you. Come here. I'm pretty aggressive.
Were you like that with your husband?
No.
So you would only be that
if I was
if you were a lesbian, you'd be like that.
I'm probably lying. I'd probably be like,
you're like, hi,
am I pretty? Next week we have Megan Tonjes, who is an awesome,
we love her.
YouTube
singer,
blogger,
YouTuber,
vlogger, singer, and she #Booty Revolution. So we have her on the show next week, and so we're really excited to kind of like discuss and explore different things when it comes to sort of like life hacks for when you're feeling like, why am I not farther along? And I think we all have those moments, right? Where it's like, for sure. If I had started this podcast 5 years ago, or if I had been producing for 10 years,
exactly.
Whatever. Ditch
it's
always something,
exactly.
Just go do the thing you want to do, and the worst
that
happens.
Write the book you want to write.
I'm looking at you, Liz.
Oh,
Liz.
Oh, Mom.
We're all looking at you.
Yes.
Do the things you want to do.
Yeah, my mom
Just
too.
do it. What's the worst that's going to happen? You fail.
Yeah.
Or you move on to the next thing. I mean, this is getting into this entrepreneurial theme that is really popular in 2018, where it's like the book flops, and so you write another one,
right?
Or you do something else. And I think there was a lot of fear, and there still kind of is sometimes, even with the store, because it is a labor of love. And both Jen Wilder and I, my partner for the store, we both have full-time jobs and families, and so it's like, I could really just one day be like, you know what, it's just too much stress. But there's something in me that it does drive. You want to keep doing it. But there is a fear that what if we can't pay the rent? What if we, what would people say if we closed, and this and that? And what would people perceive? It would be a failure. And what I really, truly realized after I'm reading this book, or I just listened to this book, because sometimes saying you read it is kind of like lying. I listen.
It is. You technically have had it read to you, so you did read it.
But it said that you leave a legacy. So in any business or any endeavor you do, you leave a legacy. And I truly, that really gave me like the sense of like purpose with the Plus Bus, where it's like, it is a legacy. If we were, for whatever reason, to close our doors someday, we would have a legacy. People would talk about it. And say, do you remember Fatchella? Do you remember this event?
Because you guys have all these fun events, and it's the only thing. It's the only one of its kind in LA.
People from across the country are affected by it, inspired by it, and who knows who's creating whatever in their own hometown.
Right.
Like there are women who might be doing clothing swaps in their own hometown, realizing
I'm sure they are.
And that is your legacy.
Right.
And being at Fatchella was literally like being at a party in a movie. Like I just wish there was like a beach ball like going there. Like it was, first of all, I was the shortest person there, and I did not have heels on, so literally armpits were at my arm level everywhere.
At your eye level?
I tried to make myself as tall as possible. I have a bouffante and huge platforms on, because I know with these two I'm gonna need to be as tall as possible. But I will say that being in that environment, it's like really glamorous, and we don't get to be glamorous. So that is a legacy.
Well, you do get to be glamorous. You do get to be glamorous. So just go be glamorous wherever you are. I mean, I wish Fatchella could be every weekend, but so I think it's a legacy. And in Gary Vaynerchuk's book, Crush It, he talks about like, don't worry about money, don't worry about views, don't worry about likes, don't worry about who reads your book, whatever. Leave a legacy. What's your legacy? And focus on that. And when you do that, and you're like working in passion and working in what fulfills you, you'll have success.
It's so true.
Love it.
It's so true. I love it too. Okay, we definitely need.
Now we're getting into serious. We're getting into serious mode. This is definitely a Kathy topic.
Yes, for sure. Because as we know, one of the biggest things that happened this week was Michelle Wolf basically told the truth and got a bunch of shit for it. And I found it very interesting that people accused her.
Wait. She told the truth at the
White House Correspondents' Dinner.
Right.
And she was accused.
Which you guys should have been there.
Right?
Your correspondents.
Totally. We're totally.
Okay. So Michelle Wolf, she's a Daily Show correspondent.
She was.
Comedian.
Yes. Now she has her own show on Netflix.
Never heard of her till this week.
Oh, that's so interesting.
Yeah, she's brilliant. I knew who she was.
She used to also work for Seth Meyers, so she's been like around.
Okay.
And good people who like know what they're doing. And
it's just like Jimmy Kimmel and then like Michelle Wolf. I was like, who this?
For sure.
It's all good.
For
Props
sure.
to you, Michelle.
No,
Anyways,
she was.
So what was your beef?
So my my beef is that people came out and journalists had an issue with her because she was poking fun at Sarah Huckabee Sanders, who was there. Instead of Trump, it was her at the big table.
I mean, I'm so bad. I should Google what Sarah Huckabee Sanders looks like because
no, don't worry. I'm sure Jarvis will pull it up and I'll tell you to look.
Okay, so
Sarah Huckabee Sanders.
The journalist had an issue with her, like, shaming her looks. And I was like, none of her jokes were about shaming her looks. Like, and
she never said anything about.
No, she didn't.
She said something about her looks, but what she said was actually a compliment.
Positive. This is literally what she said. Oh, I thought I had them. No, I'm sorry. This is what yes. 2 jokes that seemed to irk critics were her Handmaid's Tale dig. I have to say, I'm a little starstruck. I love you as Aunt Lydia in The Handmaid's Tale, which is an amazing actress. Dowd. What's her first name?
I don't know.
Ann Dowd.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yes.
Guys,
finish reading this quote because I'm ready.
And the aforementioned line about Sandra's smoky eye, which went like this: I actually really like Sarah. I think she's very resourceful. She burns facts, and then she uses the ash to create a perfect smoky eye.
Perfect smoky eye.
Maybe
which
she's
is true.
born
She
with
does
it.
have
Maybe
really good.
it's lies. It's probably lies. So there's nothing.
Well, and like they show Sarah Huckabee Sanders like making a face when she's saying all this, like she was offended. You could see that she's not happy with it.
So everyone is offended in 2018 about everything. Okay,
this is true.
So I actually, one of my first jobs and one of my most beloved experiences in this life was working for Laugh Factory here in LA for 2 years. So I am a huge fan of comedy. I'm a huge fan of comics, live comedy, support live comedy. If we cannot make jokes, then we should all like just go home. I mean, go wherever it is people go when they can't make jokes, because I understand sensitivity. I mean, you know, I know that Dave Chappelle like went over the top on some issues that maybe are hurtful towards people in his most recent stand-up, but there has to be room for comedy. And I really feel that if we get so PC to the point where comics, where it is their job to make us laugh, can't make a joke, and especially in a climate like this, we are going down a very, very dangerous road where everything's a trigger warning, everything is a censor, everything is so protected and bubbled. So it's not just that we are the plus size women get bubbled. No, we're all bubbling ourselves into these, you know, I say trigger warning because I think that's the society we're in. It's this trigger warning society where it's like, I want to protect myself from anything that's outside of my comfort. And I think that comedy that's what it's meant to do, is get people out of their comfort zone. So should we judge women for their looks? If they're whether they're doing their job or what? No, your look shouldn't play into your job.
Well, I thought she was really smart and careful about not doing that, actually.
I can see how it was perceived that way, but I think that again, I think people are just being really, really sensitive. And when you're at that dinner.
But don't you think it says more about the people who look at Sarah Huckabee every day in that conference room at when they have a press conference with her, and it's more about their opinion of what she looks like?
Well, and
these jokes are not about her looks.
It's about lies, right? The joke is about lies.
Exactly, and that a journalist would sit back because of their own body bias, because of how they feel about her looks.
Right, because Aunt Lydia in The Handmaid's Tale is really just like she's just going along with the patriarchy.
She's absolutely.
Well, the mind control, right? So that's what she was likening it to, is like she's trying to mind control us, and then she's obviously lying. She's lying.
Yeah, but it's also, she is also the only plus size character in the entire show,
thing, which is already an issue for me. Like there's no fat girls in the revolution. Like none of us are in the future. Like nobody except for Ann Dowd. God bless her, brilliant, one of the best actresses in our
she's so brilliant
lifetime.
in the show. But that's another thing.
The show's like a little dark. I could only get through so much of it, and I was like, ooh, this is not for me. I'm like more of a Beverly Hills Housewives person.
Oh yeah, I love the acting.
I'm down. I can get into it. There will be a weekend where I'm like down with the flu.
You're gonna really binge it. You'll really binge it.
Yeah. But that's my issue, is that, and by the way, that is what Michelle first said. She said, actually, none of my jokes were about her appearance, but what does this comment or your statement say about what you think of her appearance?
I mean, all of the women, all of the White House women get judged for their looks. I mean, that's just the reality as well. I mean, the Kellyanne Conway, I feel like it just has been shredded for her like eyeliner and her wardrobe.
Oh, everything.
And, it's just honestly,
and they don't do that with the men.
No, they don't do that with the men.
They
but
never do that with the men.
women. So whatever Michelle Wolf's intention was, whether it was just to focus on the political stuff or it was her body, it also kind of comes with the territory in that job. So I don't know. You know, I'm not a big political person.
I thought she killed it, and I think she's saying stuff
I thought she killed
that they
it too.
needed to hear, and I think that they aren't. I think that people are going in there to be punching bags every day, and I get it, and they're putting their lives out there basically. Like, Lord knows the threat. Like, I can't even imagine what a real reporter's life is like. But at the same time, you have been groomed in order to keep your relationship with the White House to put up with a lot of garbage. And Michelle Wolf isn't. She's not in that room every day with her. So she should be the one to be like, and how many books have you sold about this? Thank you.
Yeah, but and I'm kind of like, you did hire her.
Yeah.
So you should have known what kind of comedy she does. You hired her.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, come on, give me a break.
I'm totally agree
Like,
with you.
if you don't want that, then you hire Roseanne Barr, who's gonna be on your side. Who's, you know what I mean?
Yeah. But I don't think I think that's the whole point of it, is that there's not supposed to be a side. So she went after everybody, and then all of a sudden everybody has isn't it?
No, but you can't. Not with this administration. They don't.
But she came for the journalists too.
Oh, she came for everybody.
Yeah, I loved it.
I loved it. I thought she was brilliant too. I mean, it was hard to listen to her voice. I'm not gonna lie, girl. Your voice.
I'm gonna not even say what I was about to say. She has I won't say.
She's very shrill.
Like a 7.
Oh, she has a 7 head.
Rihanna calls it a 5 head, but Michelle Wolf. But see, I'm commenting on her appearance, and she did her job. So whatever.
She did.
Can we talk about Kim Kardashian?
Yeah, let's talk about this. Let's talk about this.
I'm just kidding. I don't even know. I'm just like,
no.
I'm so bad about politics. I'm in a bubble.
You are.
I'm bad.
Well, Kathy's gonna bust you out of your bubble.
I'm bad.
A little bit.
Kathy is. She busts me out, and I'm like,
we have to care.
We have to care because we live in this. We live in this world.
But
okay, so this plus size influencer Carmen Renee on Instagram is at Eat the Cake too, and she recreated Kim Kardashian's fragrance ad.
Yes.
Which I'm hoping that we have. And so what she posted on her Instagram was, one of these bodies a large part of our society will deem as perfect. My body is empowered by the opportunity to share a different reality. Perfect, having all the required or desirable elements, qualities, or characteristics as good as possible to be. Stop striving to be perfect, because guess what? You are there. What a beautiful definition. Today, at this very moment, my body is as good as it will possibly can be. I can't change it today, and tomorrow it may be different. It will still be perfect. There is no body better than the next. There is no one body that is perfect. There is your body, unique, worthy, desirable, and perfect. All bodies are good bodies.
Boom.
Read that every day.
Drop the mic.
All bodies are good bodies.
It's very true.
But I don't think Kim Kardashian making a perfume bottle about her body is trying to tell us that our bodies aren't good.
No, I don't.
But I think
it's just not your body.
No, but I think that the perception of Kim Kardashian in the world, in society, is that her body is perfect.
And
I don't think that it might
aspirational too.
Like having a flat stomach and a big booty, and you know what I mean.
Well, right. No, that's the new figure is like big boobs, tiny waist, big butt.
Right.
But I will say, I didn't go to the gym today. Did you?
No.
So Kim Kardashian's at the gym 17 hours a day, and that's her privilege, and that's her financial position, and that's how she wants to prioritize her time.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Yeah. I mean, I'm not trying to be Kim's one woman fan over here, but it's just I just think sometimes we get really into especially in the plus size world, where it's them against us, and it's Kim Kardashian's perfume bottle has nothing to do with us.
This is true, but also I think that it is good to see what the other is next to that nice Photoshop
I'm more concerned
picture.
that she.
And
I'm more concerned that she
options.
copied Jean-Paul Gaultier's bottle from 1990,
Madonna.
whatever.
I
It's
know.
That's what's more interesting to me. That if you follow Diet Prada, the best Instagram account, she's constantly calling out designers for their, sort of
inspirational,
right.
inspired heavily by other people.
And she called her out right away and was like, wow, this bottle is ingenious, when it's you're so creative. They have so much money to be more creative than that. But I think it's also again, if you're looking at Ashley Graham or Kim Kardashian and that's your body image role model, then you're looking in the wrong place. And that's why I think women like us exist, because, people ask me all the time, I'm 34 years old. I do not want to be an outfit blogger. But you know why I do it? Because I want girls my size, 18, 20s, to look at me, or in bigger and smaller, and say, Marcy's wearing a romper. I can wear a romper.
For sure.
And she shows her legs and her knees and her thighs and her cellulite, and I can do that. So that's when people ask me, why do you post outfits? That's why, because I want women to look at me. So for me, again, if Kim Kardashian's your body image role model, then like look somewhere else.
Yeah.
Because they exist. There's amazing people.
Yeah.
Like Eat the Cake too. I mean,
Right.
I really like her. I love her photo. And actually, I think her body's quite ideal as well. And she's got that hourglass,
Right.
you know? So,
Yeah.
you know, anybody can go out there and we're going to use these big names like Kim Kardashian to like hop on and, you know, hashtag Kim Kardashian and
Yeah,
get
right.
more
But then
followers
you
and
get more
fans.
people to look at what you're doing.
Exactly.
Sure.
So yeah, use Kim Kardashian to talk shit or whatever. But I don't think Kim Kardashian's doing it against us.
I don't think she is
No, I don't
either.
think she is either.
But I also think that there is a, you know, when your sister, one of the Kardashians, has a revenge body show, there is a state of mind in that family about what people who are other are like. And I don't think that they might not be doing it to be against us, but
Your
I
sister
don't
said
think they're
there's so
doing
many
it for
other
us
reasons
either.
to not like Kim Kardashian.
I mean,
Yeah, and I mean, I have been a fan, and you know, I think there's room for everybody. I think that's what I always say.
Yeah.
I think there's room for everybody,
That's
and I
for
think
sure.
For
there are
sure.
people that, you know, kind of make a lot of noise. And you know, someone today, I was getting my blowout, and the girl goes, "What do you think of Kanye?" I had nothing to say because I don't think anything. I think Kanye's being Kanye. I don't have anything to say, hair dry girl. Like, thank you, bless your heart.
but she's in it to win it. She's in. They're
All in it to win it. And you
Yeah.
know what? Honestly, like laughing their way to the bank. You know why I admire her? She's a businesswoman. That's where I take my cues from Kim Kardashian. Not because I want to look like her, but because I want to be a baller like her.
Yeah.
And you know, if I can do a little bit of what she's done in the plus size world, hey, I'll take cues.
We can't wait to
Yeah.
see it. We can't wait to see all the things you do. What is the podcast? You're gonna go, guys, right now. Listen to the
Follow,
podcast.
yeah, you can follow Midlife Makeover podcast on Instagram. You can follow me. I'm at the Marcy Minute all over the internet. And you can follow the Plus Bus, and we give style inspiration. And if you're looking for women to look at and follow that don't look like Kim Kardashian or that look like you, that's where to go. Follow me, follow Eva, follow Kathy. And
Yes.
And
definitely
we
follow
have,
the Plus Bus.
and we have our event, which is going to be bomb.
Oh my
on
gosh,
June
we have
2nd.
some more.
June
June
2nd.
2nd. You guys have to come.
June 2nd. We
Anne
let's
Marie,
just say,
that's when you're coming. June
Anne,
2nd.
come out.
Oh my gosh.
Making her.
Wait, and you guys, next week, Kathy's not going to be here because she's going to be all fancy being in New York.
going to New York.
So we're going to have guest co-host Rosa Graziano with Arnold Mint. I don't know if its name is Mint or Mint because I want it to be Mint because it looks
Has
so
a
cute.
Y in it?
It has a Y in it.
But they were both on Next Food Network Star together.
Yes.
And he literally hooked her up. He is a fabulous drag queen sometimes, and hooked her up with clothes, which was amazing for the show.
And so they're going to be on next week.
They have tails.
So you guys should still watch because it's even though it's not Kathy Deach, we will still be here.
Like, subscribe, and share at Plus the
Yes.
Show everywhere on all our platforms, guys. Thank you as always for
love
tuning
you
in
so
live. Thank
much.
you, Marcy, for being
you,
here. Thank you,
Marcy.
Jarvis.
This is so fun.
And
We
I'll
love
see you in
you.
a few weeks, and have fun. I'll be watching from New York, guys. Bye.